Hi, this is Emily. Um, I've been going through some recent struggles regarding my son. Um, I try to distract myself by singing. Sometimes I get crazy with posting on my Facebook page and sometimes on other pages. And I don't mean to do anything wrong by posting on a group page. I apologize if I'm going against rules. It's not my intention. It's just when I'm feeling really down, I seek attention. So if I sing a video that I like and I think it's a nice thing to share, in one case it was a Christmas video where I sang with a well-known singer, Leanne Rhymes, and I posted it on a page and I got a message that it was inappropriate. I'm not trying to do anything offensive or bad. I'm just trying to deal with the things I'm dealing with. I have a son who's on the autistic spectrum. He struggles. Yesterday, Christmas was started out nice. I went to midnight mass with my son, 24th into the 25th. I took my son out for part of the day. We went out, we had a meal out because my wife was working, so we didn't have a formal dinner. We didn't even put up a Christmas tree this year because there's no Christmas spirit. But my wife did put some tree lights on the outside of the house, on a tree outside, but we didn't have a tree in the house and didn't do much shopping. I didn't do any real shopping. This is the first year that we didn't have a Christmas tree. It's just there's a Christmas spirit isn't there. But I try to get some Christmas spirit by singing. It helps me cope. But Christmas was not a good day. Kind of reminds me when I was young and my mom went into the hospital on Thanksgiving Day. But my son was in a bad situation. He was endangering himself and he was hurting me. Actually, he broke my thumb. I'm in great pain, actually. I'm trying to help my son. I don't know what to do sometimes. I try to do things that I think are going to help him. I took him to a concert in New Jersey, and it turned out to be a disaster. I don't know what it is in the mindset of someone on the autistic spectrum, but it's really pretty scary. When I was driving with my son in New Jersey, we were right near the concert venue in Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center, just blocks away basically, and then there was a roadblock. Police had closed off part of the road, so I had to go around it, and they detoured us. So my GPS redirected as I took the detour, and we wound up at the venue. No problem. But my son had a meltdown in the car as I'm driving. He started kicking me, and I'm driving the car, and he's kicking and punching me. And I pulled into the lot. I tried to calm him down. That's when he broke my thumb. It wasn't yesterday. It was Saturday night. So my thumb is still in pain, and I haven't done anything medically about it. I already broke it before, and I had to have it in a splint. But it's painful. Now I have to go see my doctor in New Jersey because I also deal with the arthritis, and that's making it even worse. But when we pulled into the parking lot, my son went, he had a very bad meltdown, and I'm trying to get him to come with me to the concert to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra, December 21st, Saturday. concert time was 8 p.m. We were in the parking lot about, because of the roadblock and all, we got there about 10 to 8. And it was a good drive. It was 2 hours, and we drove into the city to take the tunnel to New Jersey. So it was a stressful drive. I don't like driving in the city. And it was Saturday night, so there was a lot of traffic. And I'm not keen on driving anymore, especially in the wake of that car accident I had in July. I'm still traumatized by that. But when I'm driving and my son is kicking me, when I'm trying to focus, that's added pressure, added stress, added tension. Plus, I'm trying to calm him down while I'm trying to drive a vehicle. And our lives are at risk. Nobody understands the difficulties that I face with my son who's autistic. He's 21, but he doesn't act like that, age-wise. So to maintain my own sanity, I need to do things that help me cope. But yesterday was a nightmare because my son was very self-injurious. He was hurting himself deliberately, banging his head against the wall. When I tried to calm him down, he started punching me. And he also hurt my thumb again. And I thought he was going to kill himself. He was banging his head so hard that I thought he was going to kill himself. And then he ran out of the house, and my wife had to go after him because I cannot run like I used to be able to, especially recovering still from surgery, even though it's 3 months now. So I cannot run after him. And I was scared to death in New Jersey when he disappeared on me for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. No exaggeration. I had to have a woman in the parking attendant woman help me get to the Newark Police Department by the concert venue to basically have me sit in his car while we were driving around Newark, New Jersey, trying to find where my son was. I don't know sometimes why these things happen. I've come from a background, a family history with mental disorder, mental illness. I lost both my parents to suicide. My mom in 1990 starved herself to death in the hospital. It's not a deliberate suicide, I guess you would say, but in effect, she starved herself. She refused to eat. So she gave up. She wanted to die. So I don't know what you want to call it, whether you call it a suicide or intentional death by starvation. In the medical report, it said she died of a heart attack. But she actually died because she didn't eat or drink. And they hooked her up intravenously, and no matter how weak she was, she still managed to pull the tubes out. And we just saw her die in the hospital, basically. 50 years old, back in 1990. My dad struggled with alcohol. He was depressed. He was a mess after Mom died. He was a mess because of the work and seeing death in the business. He lost his father in the business, his brother in the business, dying from falls, not directly dying in the accident itself, but years later, but they were confined to wheelchairs. Both my grandfather, my father's father, and my uncle, my father's brother, Donald. My Uncle Donald won a big lawsuit, but what the heck? He was paralyzed for the rest of his life. All that money didn't mean anything to him, even though they had to build a special house and accommodate with a wheelchair accessibility. Beautiful house, but what the heck? He was paralyzed, couldn't even enjoy it. He had to have round-the-clock nurses. It was horrible. And then when my mom died, 1990, in March, my Uncle Donald, my father's brother, died 2 months after. He was devastated when he attended my mother's funeral. And then we wound up going to see him in the hospital, and he died 2 months later. So my dad had to go to 2 funerals in 1990. His wife's, my mom, and his brother, my Uncle Donald. And Matthew had to be taken to the hospital. He was, once my wife restrained him, got him in the house, I had called the police. The police came, they took him they had to give him a needle to tranquilize him, because he was all over the place. They had to give him a needle. And he's now in South Oaks. They transferred him from Nassau University Medical Center to South Oaks. And they had to give him a needle again because he was self-injurious at the hospital at NUMC. They had to restrain him. I hope to God that they can help him. He's having a lot of difficulties. He's disabled, and he doesn't have a life. And we're trying to get him into a group home. And that's seemingly what sparked this whole thing, because he overheard me talking about group home with a friend, because I'm worried about him. And I don't know what else to do anymore. You know? It's just very emotional for me. And I'm coming up on my own 1 year. It's not something to celebrate, or you could look at it possibly as something to celebrate. But January 16th, 2019, I was in a dark place, very dark place. And I attempted suicide. I overdosed. I overdosed. I took like a whole bottle, prescription of Klonopin, the whole thing. Maybe like, they give you I was taking 2 pills a day. And it's a 30-day prescription. And I must have had like a few days before that, like 3 days of the prescription. So that was 60 minus 6. So I took over 50 pills in one thing. I don't drink alcohol, but I mix it with wine. And I took like 20 Depakotes, 15 Risperidones, a cocktail drug mix, alcohol and prescription meds. Just took it all, and I was messed up. And it's a miracle I survived. That was 2 days before my 58th birthday, January 16th. My birthday's January 18th. I did it on the 16th, literally hoping to die. That's how bad I was in the shape I'm in. I'm depressed, isolated, miserable, financially stressed to the max, worried that I won't be able to sell my house, got crushed with income taxes. I can't stand what's going on in Washington. They're hurting us, our family. They're threatening to take away our disability. And if I lose my disability, I'm going to lose everything. I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose everything. I hate this president. And people are telling me I should support this asshole. Fuck him. I hate that guy. I hope he gets out of office. Fuck him. But I'm going through a lot. And sometimes I don't want to be around anymore. I can't help it. You know? Sometimes I wish I could just do that. And die. That's how messed up I am. And I don't see any way my son is going to have no life. He'll be confined to a group home for the rest of his life. You know? And I'm going to be 59. And I don't even enjoy life anymore, to be honest with you. I don't. I mean, I'm happy I had my surgery. I'm happy I'm living to be my true self. I struggled all my life, basically. I don't have many friends. I'm depressed. I have a son who's having trouble. And I'm overwhelmed. Life isn't that great. I'm not asking for pity or anything. I'm just so upset. I'm upset to see my son like the way he is. I have no outlets. I do. I sing. I like to sing. I like to write. I like to contribute. I'm seeking attention, maybe. And if I offend people because they have a group and they don't like what I put on the group page, then I won't post anymore. I don't want to offend anybody. It's not my intention to. You know, and there are groups, they say, oh, we only want this related to this. Well, life is not so perfect that you have a group designed just for a specific thing. I'm sorry, but that's not how life works. You know? But so be it. I won't post. I don't need to post. I'll post on my own page. I won't post anywhere else if they're going to be so offended by what I post. It's Christmas season. If I can't sing a song and show it proudly, then I won't post. I have my own worries about my son anyway. I don't care what others say about it. If they don't need me posting, then I won't post. Fuck it. We're supposed to have a Christmas spirit, you know? We're supposed to extend goodwill to people. But they want to stifle goodwill. So let them. It's not my problem. I have to worry about my son. That's my problem. And I have to worry about my own mental state. Because it's not good. It's not good. Just try to do right for my son. And you're probably wondering why I'm even posting a video like this. Does it really matter? I need to express the hurt and pain that I have inside. And I can't keep it in my own mindset. I need people to know that life is not perfect. That we don't live in a beautiful world. I have friends that say, I want to see my child do this and I want to see them do that. Yeah, I also wanted to see my child do this and that. But you know what? He's not going to be able to. And I have to live with that. You know? Some people are upset because they're not going to see whatever. I don't know. But for me, I won't even see my son graduate school, college. I won't see him meet someone. I won't see him have a career or job or anything. I'm just now looking forward to him just us finding a place that he can be taken care of, basically. That's what I'm looking forward to. Finding a place that can help him so I don't have to worry when I'm on my deathbed, worrying about if my son will be okay. When I'm on my deathbed, I want to know that he's going to be okay. That's all I want now. College is not it's not any more in my mind. I just want him to be okay. Life is not always nice and perfect and what we hope for, you know. I saw my father struggle. I saw him depressed. I saw him drink his frustrations away. And then I heard about him killing himself at the train station in Belmore. jumping in front of a train. What causes someone to do that? Just the idea of throwing yourself into the pathway of a speeding train. And then I tried to kill myself 3 times, maybe 4. This last time was the worst. And I'm coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the suicide attempt. But I should look at it a different way. I survived it. So I survived that. That's the way I should look at it. But I'm worried. I have a lot of worries. I can't afford to live here anymore. The government took away my real estate tax deduction amount that I would normally be able to take. They took away my personal exemptions. They made me pay higher income tax than I ever did in my whole life. Normally I would get a refund, now I'm paying because of this asshole in the White House and this spineless, gutless Republican Party. Our family makes less than $60,000 a year, yet we're paying taxes while corporations are paying 21% and even less than that effective tax rate, and some as low as 0%. Yet the government is now trying to tax me more than ever before to make up for that, and they want to take away our disability benefits. And people are telling me that I'm wrong in my hatred for the president, and they're telling me that I should stand in line and support that asshole. Fuck that. That guy is killing me and my family. That motherfucker. I don't get it. What the hell is going on in this country? These people are like brainwashed. How could you support someone like that? How can you support someone who separates families at the border, separates kids from their parents, and puts them in cages and lets them die? There are many kids that have died already in those camps. And people are okay with that. And people are okay with his attacks on just about anybody who doesn't agree with him. And people are okay with the breakdown of our ally relations with our ally countries because of him, while he's trying to cozy up to the Putin on Russia. And people are okay with him ignoring climate change and global warming. And people are okay with him allowing all these emissions, coal and gas and oil emissions into the atmosphere that is already killing us because of what's going on already with global warming, and then we're contributing more because of him. And people are okay with taking away health insurance from millions and millions of people and collapsing a whole health insurance, healthcare industry. And people are okay with that. And people are okay with corruption and meddling in our elections. And people are okay with that. If you look at the behavior of the party in the congressional hearings, the Democrats and the Republicans, and you see the way they conducted themselves, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that the Republicans are a bunch of scumbags. who have no manners, no couth, no integrity, and just come off as a bunch of morons who are subservient to the ruler, Trump, while the Democrats are protecting the country from the evils of this president and conduct themselves in a professional manner and are very much involved in protecting our government, our Constitution, our democracy, while the Republicans serve their leader, while the Democrats serve their country. And people can't see that. Is it that hard to see? Is it that hard to see that Trump is immoral and that he is a evil person and that he doesn't know what the hell he's doing? Is it that hard to see? And these religious organizations stand by this moron, this moralist, evil person, and they're okay with it because he says he's pro-life. Well, wake up and smell the coffee. He's saying pro-life because he wants the votes. He doesn't care. He doesn't even respect women. Give me a break. Jesus. My God, how can people be so ignorant of the reality? It's like we're living in two different worlds, between the Republican world and the Democrat world. And I'm going to go with the right world, and that's my choice, because I know that I'm affected negatively in the other circles. And I know that in the circles that I want to be a part of, they care about people like me and my family. They care about people, and they don't discriminate against me because I'm transgender. They don't discriminate against me because I have a disability or that I have an autistic son. They don't discriminate, that I'm an LGBT person or that my son's autistic. They don't discriminate, or that I have mental illness. But the Republicans, they do. They do discriminate. And they want to take away my benefits. And the Democrats want to increase my benefits. So the Democrats want to decrease my tax burden, while the Republicans want to increase my tax burden, while taking my money and then giving it back to the corporations and the rich. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense to me. So why would anybody want to support that? It doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, I have my own issues. I have my son who's very sick. I'm mentally challenged, sick. I have a lot of issues. I'm transgender. I've been discriminated against. I'm worried about the future of my son. I'm worried about losing my house and possibly going into foreclosure. I'm winding up homeless. But I have a life insurance policy. So if that were to happen, then I would just end it. So my wife and my son will get my life insurance. Because if I'm going to lose my house, I'm not going to survive in the streets, nor am I going to expect my family to. So I'll just say goodbye and let my wife and son have my policy payout. Because this is not life. This is misery and pain and suffering and struggle. And I cannot fathom another 4 years of this asshole in the White House. No way. I'd rather put a gun to my head than deal with that. I got nothing.